Okay, hi. I wanted to make another video, uh, kind of talking about my panic attack video that I put up. I'm not really sure how I feel about that video. Um, it was kind of tough for me to record that because a lot of what I'm doing it's very new and I'm not really sure. You know, like I'm talking to some people on Google Plus, and I'm encouraging people to record themselves and talk because I found it to be quite therapeutic and also it kind of helps me, get stuff off my chest. So when I made that video about the panic attacks, you know, it was just all off the cuff. It was just all stuff that just kind of just came out. And to anyone that um, you know, like one girl in particular, one woman left a comment saying she wished she could talk like I could talk or that. I am shocked that I can talk about this stuff at all. So I really encourage anyone to try record themselves and to just, especially starting off, to just talk and don't worry about how you're coming across, or don't worry about anything. Just talk as if I don't know. Just talk, and if it's silly or if it doesn't make sense, so what? Like, look at any YouTube video. Most of them are just silly, you know. But about that last video, I still don't know if I should leave it up because it's very heavy, and like I talk about suicide and stuff like that, and just to say that was just a really bad day for me, and initially I recorded that just for myself so I could look back on it and kind of remember how bad it can be for me, especially on very tough days, and that was definitely a very tough day. Um, but my other days aren't as bad as that, and maybe I come across a little bit scary in it. Also, I showed it to my counsellor, and she said I was very judgmental of myself when I was talking about. Sorry, as usual, I've Nick Cave um, on Spotify. She said when I was trying to describe my panic attacks, I didn't do a very good job of describing what it was I was feeling, and she's right. But also, she said that even if I said something like there was an alien feeling or a demonic feeling, straight away I would instantly try to explain how I know that makes me sound crazy, and um, how that was me being judgmental of myself and maybe insecure and stuff like that. So maybe I can try again from a non-judgmental point of view, like and not worry how crazy it makes me sound. Um, but yeah, like my panic attacks, and I say stuff like I don't feel it in my chest, and I feel like maybe that's a bit hard on people who do feel it in their chest and who get the shortness of breath and that. Um, like, so a panic attack comes over, everything stops for me. Like my ability to kind of be at peace or whatever, or just once the panic attack kicks in and once it takes over, it completely controls. I'm in control of myself, but it is so intense that it's all I can experience. Like the panic attacks I had that day were I was on my own most of the day, apart from the one that I had when I met my brother at the shop. But um, I battle with addictions, and I go to meetings and stuff like that. And also in college, we talk very openly about any problems we have. And I love my college course; it's great. But my point is, I have to do a lot of talking in front of groups, and if I have a panic attack, um, in a group, it is extremely tough. Like I do suffer from social anxiety as well, and it's nightmarish when a panic attack happens. When I'm talking in a social situation, I feel I feel like everyone's judging me. Even though the people in my class, I love them. The girls in my course are so nice, and so my point is that I feel like I'm being judged, even though there's nothing in reality to tell me I'm being judged. I know the girls in my course really like me, and we're all really good friends. I know the people in my support groups like me. Um, so my point is, it's not really it's not really the people themselves. It's the situation that makes me feel very self conscious, um, kind of paranoid as well. Like and my eyes, like I feel everybody can read. I actually I get twitches, like I get little vibrations here and here at my worst. Like whenever if I'm halfway through a story or even halfway through a sentence, sometimes a panic attack can come over me, and that's really bad because it's very embarrassing, and I leave a lot of people hanging. Like I could be telling a story about like one example, which should have been a fun experience for me. As part of a college thing, we had a 10 minute, or we had something to do to entertain everyone. It was like one of our last classes before Christmas, and I decided I would do two magic tricks because I used to love magic tricks when I was a kid, and I practiced here in the house. I practiced the tricks over and over and over again, and they were pretty stupid tricks, but they were funny. And I even practiced the monologues I was going to say throughout the tricks, for a bit of humor. And the night that we had the course, or the night of that, some of the girls went first, and one of the girls she had a photo slide of all her traveling she'd done around the world, and it was amazing, and it was really cool, and I wasn't feeling nervous. Well, my anxiety is always there. It doesn't matter what, even if I'm very comfortable, it's there. But I wasn't too nervous, and then when it was my turn to stand up and do my trick, oh my god, it was mortifying. Like I went through the kind of the speech that I asked one of the girls to help me. You needed someone to help you to do the trick, and the everybody was in good form. It wasn't even a big crowd. There was only 10 of us, and just this like intense kind of silence, and like the focus is on me, and I feel very much like my God, everybody here is waiting on me to say something, and oh my God, it was a nightmare. The tricks, I couldn't even do them right. I had to actually tell the people that was the trick. That's how bad it was, No, like I'm not even describing it enough yet. Let me just really paint a picture. So I stood up to do the trick, and I got this overwhelming like internal pressure of that I had everyone's attention, and I don't know, like as a child I starved attention. I was hyperactive because I got no attention at home. I starved attention as a child. Now I hate attention. I hate focus on me. But I like to participate as well. So I don't know. There's a fine line, and yeah. So when I stood up, as soon as I started talking, I became very self-conscious and very conscious of the tone of my voice and how it sounded, and how it sounded in between each silence, if that makes any sense. So I would finish a sentence, and the silence, like right there, would be so loud in my mind. Um, the person from social anxiety's mind, and then I find it very hard to break that silence, especially like at AM meetings and stuff. If I'm talking across a big room and the anxiety is getting really bad, and I notice the silence more, and then when there is silence, I find it so hard to talk then. And I've had experiences where I actually couldn't talk, and everybody, 20, 30 people are all just looking at me, and they're not, they're not like judging me, or they might think, Jesus, what's wrong with Brian at the minute? Because some of them mightn't understand, but I feel like just dying. I feel like such a failure. I feel like such a freak. I feel like such a useless person when that happens to me, And then like I leave the meeting, and people are like, "Is he all right?" Like, Brian, and we know what it's like, and it's so great to hear that from people. Like, it really is, because if I just left the room and got in the car and went home, I'd form my own opinions of how everyone hates me, and paranoia would kick in, and I'd beat myself up. And it's so good to hear people tell me, like, don't be so hard on yourself and all this, but we are hard on ourselves when we suffer from social anxiety. Again, I don't know where this video is going. It's all over the place. Like, in the future, I kind of want to maybe have a theme for my videos. Like, maybe in another video, I'll talk about my addictions and where they led me in life, and my views on them, and maybe another time I'll talk, hopefully in the future, I'll be able to talk about better ways for me to deal with because I spoke to my counsellor yesterday, and she confirmed without a shadow of a doubt that I have PTSD. I didn't think that she was so sure about it, but she said no. She actually had said to me that she clarified to me that I had it, and I mustn't have heard it properly. So anyway, I definitely am PTSD sufferer. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, again, I encourage people, anyone at all, to just pick up your phone. Don't worry about putting it on YouTube. Don't do anything like that. Just pick up the phone and record. Maybe picture talking to yourself. Like, one thing, I'm speaking to someone on Google Plus at the minute about like how great it would be to maybe talk to our younger selves. And like, I hid my mental illness from everybody. Well, I tried to hide my mental illness from everybody because I thought it was the worst thing ever. I was so ashamed of myself for having a mental illness. And what I would love to do is talk to my younger self now, and say, listen, man, it's not your fault. You are not the only person with this. It's not the end of the world, and don't be so ashamed and afraid of it, because it's not your fault that you have it. It's not important whose fault it is. It's just important that you don't hate yourself for having it. And there's many, many, many brilliant people out there that know exactly what it's like, and have empathy for you. I felt like I was the only person in the world who felt that way, and now I know how many other people felt that way too. So I don't know, maybe it just, all I know from my experience is it has helped me to do these videos, and I'm not looking for big subscribers, or I don't care about any of that. I just want to, help others and get better. And I have exams coming up in my course, and I have an assignment to do in about 4 weeks, and I'm going to go back into hospital for about a month and talk to my psychoanalyst about the trauma I had as a child, properly. Child and teenager, and coping mechanisms and stuff like that, and yeah, addictions too. Um, so yeah, I'll just wrap it up now because I notice my videos are far too long, and I know people's attention doesn't usually last as long as I can rant. So okay, that's my video for today, and thanks for watching. Okay.